You ever notice how you can be sitting in a room full of people who love you and still feel completely, utterly alone? Not just a little disconnected, actually alone. Like there's a glass wall between you and everyone else, and you can see them laughing, talking, living, but you can't quite reach them. And the terrifying part? Nobody made you feel that way. They didn't do anything wrong. You did everything right. You showed up, you smiled, you talked, and yet there's a psychological reason this happens that most people never discover. And once you understand it, it changes how you see yourself completely. Let me describe someone real quick. This person wakes up in the morning and checks their phone before they even fully open their eyes. Not because they're excited about anything, just because the silence feels too loud. They have friends, good ones actually, people who text back, who invite them to things, who genuinely care. But somewhere in every conversation, this person drifts. Like they're watching themselves from the ceiling, performing normal person, having a normal interaction while something quieter just floats away. They overthink texts for 20 minutes before sending them, not because they are trying to be clever, because they are terrified of saying the wrong thing and being seen, really seen, and somehow found lacking. At parties they have fun, kind of, but on the drive home there's this strange emptiness, like the whole night was a rehearsal for something that never actually happened, and in quiet moments they ask themselves a question they don't say out loud. Why do I feel like nobody really knows me, even the people who know everything about me? If that felt personal, good. That means this video is for you. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most people, when they feel this way, assume the problem is their friendships. Maybe I need deeper connections. Maybe I need to open up more. Maybe I just haven't found my people yet. So they try harder. They reach out more. They force vulnerability. They download apps. They read articles about how to make meaningful friendships as an adult, and it doesn't work, because they are solving the wrong problem. There's a hidden pattern underneath this loneliness, and it has almost nothing to do with your friendships. It's something happening inside you, something that runs quietly in the background of every interaction you've ever had. And here's the part that almost nobody talks about. Ironically, the more you try to fix this feeling by seeking more connection, the worse it gets. That's not an accident. That's actually the mechanism itself working against you. And it'll show you exactly why. Your brain has a region called the default mode network. You might have heard it called the wandering mind. It's the system that activates when you're not focused on anything in particular, when you're daydreaming, replaying conversations, imagining what someone thinks of you, or lying awake at 2 a.m. constructing a version of yourself you wish you'd been at dinner. For most people, this network quiets down when they're with other people. Social engagement naturally suppresses it. You're present. You're connected. The mind stops wandering. But for some people, particularly people who feel alone even in company, the default mode network doesn't fully quiet down. It keeps running, like a smoke alarm that goes off when you're just making toast. Your brain isn't detecting real danger. It's not detecting real rejection. It's just running old software. Software that was probably installed a long time ago, in circumstances that made total sense back then. And here's the other piece. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that processes threat, becomes hyperactive in social situations when there's unresolved emotional wiring underneath. Small things feel significant. A pause in conversation. A friend who seemed distracted. A joke that didn't land. Your brain logs these as evidence of something. See, I told you. Your brain isn't broken. It's just been trained to expect a kind of loneliness that it now finds even when it isn't really there. Here's exactly how this shows up in real life. You get invited to something. A dinner, a birthday, a hangout. And for a second, you feel genuinely good about it. This will be fun. It'll be present. It'll actually connect. You get ready. You drive there. And then somewhere between walking in and the second drink, you slip into observer mode. You're watching yourself. You notice how you laugh. You're choosing your words. There's a small voice running commentary. Did that sound weird? Are they actually happy I am here? Am I talking too much? Too little? Meanwhile, everyone else seems to just be there, effortlessly there. They are not narrating their own existence from the inside. They are just having a good time. And you want that. God, you want that. But there's a pane of glass. Later, someone texts you. So good to see you tonight. Miss you already. And you stare at that text. And instead of just feeling warm about it, there's this quiet, complicated ache. Because you were there, right there. And somehow you still feel like you missed it. You think, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just enjoy things? And that thought, right there, is the beginning of the spiral. But here's what no one tells you. That pane of glass, that feeling of watching yourself from a distance while life happens around you, it's not a flaw. It's a strategy. Somewhere, probably early in your life, being fully present and fully yourself in front of other people didn't feel safe. Maybe you were misunderstood. Maybe you were laughed at when you were being genuine. Maybe you were in an environment where being seen meant being criticized. So your brain did what brains do. It built a system. It'll be here, but it'll manage this. It'll monitor the room. It'll track the signals. It'll adjust in real time. That way, I can't be caught off guard. That way, I can't be rejected for who I really am, because it'll be performing a version of me that's more acceptable. This is called emotional self-protection. And it works. It worked when you were 8. It worked when you were 14. It worked when you were in an environment where being unguarded was genuinely dangerous. The problem is, the software doesn't know it's 2024. It doesn't know these are your friends. It doesn't know you're safe. It just knows. People are present, therefore, protect. And so you monitor, and manage, and perform. And then you go home and wonder why you feel lonely. You're not weird. You're not broken. You're just running protection software that outlived its purpose. Now, I want to be honest with you, because this is the part where a lot of videos start to feel too easy, too everything happens for a reason, too fluffy. This pattern, this glass wall, can genuinely hurt you. Over time, it creates a kind of chronic isolation that compounds, because you're physically present in your relationships but emotionally somewhere else. Which means the people who love you don't fully reach you. Which confirms to your brain, see, connection doesn't fully happen. Stay guarded. Which makes the wall thicker. Which makes connection harder. It's a loop, and it's exhausting. But here's the other truth, and both things are true at the same time. This pattern also tried to protect you. It kept you functioning in situations where full openness might have genuinely cost you something. It gave you emotional awareness, sensitivity, a kind of depth that people who've never felt this way don't have access to. The very thing that isolates you is also the thing that makes you perceptive, empathetic, and real. Both things are true, the wound and the gift, at the same time. I want to talk to you directly for a second. If you've been carrying this quiet, persistent feeling of being alone in a crowded room, of not being fully reached by people who love you, of performing your life more than living it, I want you to know something. You are not failing at being human. You're not defective. You're not too sensitive, too complicated, too much, or not enough. You are someone whose nervous system learned to protect itself, and that system is still doing its job. It just doesn't know the war is over. The path forward isn't to try harder to connect. It's to slowly, gently start making it safe to be seen. Not all at once, not with everyone. Just in small moments, with one person, in one conversation where you let one true thing be true out loud. That's where it starts. Not with a grand opening up, just with one small moment where you stop performing and you stay. You're not weird. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're someone who learned to survive. And surviving is something to be proud of, even when it costs you. If something in this video hit home, that's enough for today. Sit with it. But if you want to understand the next layer, specifically what actually happens in your nervous system during social situations, and why some people can be emotionally present while others can't, I made a video on that, and it goes even deeper. It's linked right up here. And if this kind of psychology actually helps you, the real kind, The kind that doesn't just explain but actually lands. Subscribe. That's all I make. See you in the next one.